Colts Nation, if helmets or helmet accessories interest you, make sure to go to greengridiron.com and use code INDSYN at checkout to get the discount code with it. Whether it's mini helmets, full-size helmets, visors, clips, whatever it may be, different face masks, different variations of helmets, alternate helmets, whatever the case, you can get it at Green Gridiron. And again, that's code INDSYN at checkout for the discount. Thanks for stopping by for another video, and now let's get into it. What's going on, Colts Nation? I appreciate you joining me for another video, where in this one, we're going to be talking a little bit about another player that potentially needs to be getting paid soon from the Colts, right? We just had Bernie get locked up 4 years, $100 million. That happens right around 9:30 last night. That news comes out from Mike Garafolo. So as we look forward, right, everybody's been wondering, when is Alec Pierce going to get paid? Is he going to get paid? And he recently came out during his media availability and said basically, my agent is taking care of all that stuff, but by all means, it sounds like he's planning on playing out the season and then seeing what happens after that, which is what I always expected would happen in his situation. I thought Bernie, he's the left tackle. He's developed really nicely. Chris Ballard has a history of paying his own guys, right? You stay, you get better, become one of the best at your position, you'll get paid like it. And that's what he does here for Bernie. Makes him one of the highest paid at his position. Obviously, Rashawn Slater recently got paid the day before, and his contract's for more, but nonetheless, Bernie making $25 million a year. And now we're at a point where, okay, what's the salary cap going to be? What's Alec Pierce going to get in his market value? And when you look at it, I'm looking at over the cap, and before Bernie's contract is entered in to the 2026 numbers, right? Bernie's new contract is not updated on here yet. And we have $57.471 million in cap space next season, right? So next year, you're probably, since $25 million average, the back end is probably more loaded with some of that money. So you're probably looking at, either way, $25 million next year for Bernie. Even if we did just go ahead and call it 25, just to go ahead and average it out. You take away 25, so you end up with $32 million, right? $32 million next year. Now, of course, that's a very vague number. I don't know what his actual cap number is going to be, right? It depends what his base salary is, his incentives, and those sorts of things. So we'll see what his cap number ends up being. But nonetheless, just estimate here, $35 million. And then Alec Pierce, right? And this is this is just who's under contract next year. That's all we're working off of. That's before we go get any free agents potentially next year. Now, we did lock up Charvarius Ward and Cam Bynum for multiple seasons, so we don't have to worry about them. But we are going to have, an opportunity to go into free agency next year and get some good players if we have a little bit of money. But Alec Pierce, certainly one of those players. Right now, also, there are other people. T. Higgins going to be one of those players. So as we look through this, it'll be good to see kind of what the number is, right? Jamar Chase currently making the most, quite the gap between him and Justin Jefferson. I was surprised at how much of a gap it was, but it was made that much of a gap because of edge rushers getting paid so much. It's turned into the highest non-paid quarterback in NFL history is the new thing that everybody goes for. That's how that happens. $40.25 million. Justin Jefferson at number 2 with 35, right? And you have a number of guys, 9 plus people, there are 9 people at $30 million a year or more, right? From Tyreek Hill at 30 up to Jamar Chase at 40.25, right? And then you start getting into some other guys. T. Higgins on the deal that he ended up signing for this year. Or no, T. Higgins actually isn't going to be available, is he? T. Higgins signed an actual deal. They signed the two of them together, right? I think that's how that worked. I think they signed both the receivers, which is why I believe Trey Henry. That's right. I'm starting to remember. Starting to remember. Been so focused on the Colts lately, I completely forgot that T. Higgins got paid too. So he won't be available. Jalen Waddle at 20.2 or 28.25, continue to go down. And this is where you start to get into range, right? Like if Alec Pierce can have consistency in what he showed last year, but it seems like he's going to be able to do more. Seems like right, the quarterback's going to be able to get the ball into his hands more. So if you get Alec, he had like 37 catches, but had over 800 yards. Right. So if you give, same thing Michael Pittman Jr. said, dude, if you give Alec Pierce 50, 60 catches in a year, how many yards does he end up having with that? How many touchdowns does he end up having with that? Right. So I think volume is going to be key in what he's going to be able to do. You look at the current number one receiver for the Colts, Michael Pittman Jr., $23.333 million a year, right? That's what Michael Pittman Jr. is making. So Alec Pierce, would he get more than that? Right? He's younger. Yeah, he's the number two, but he's really, I mean, this year, dude, Alec Pierce, honestly, this year could look like a number one receiver. Like, by all accounts, from the things we already know he can do, and now he's like adding everything else to his repertoire. We started to see that last year. I talked about it a lot. Like, I'm starting to see new things from Alec, and it happened as the year continued to go. And I don't know if anybody else was paying attention. Okay, this isn't new stuff. He's just continued to work on it and get better at it. Continued to get more jacked. Continued to get bigger. He's a big dude, and he can go up and high point the ball. Maybe better than anybody in the league. Him and Pitt both. More often than not, ending up coming down with the ball in those jump ball situations. So, that's going to be an interesting conversation. Does Alec, just because market value, market's gone up, right? Not his fault. The market's gone up, even for wide receiver two. So could a wide receiver two be making more than your wide receiver one? That would be an interesting conversation, right? As I continue to scroll down here, we start to get into the range of guys like Darius Slayton, Rashad Bateman, Darnell Mooney. If you ask me, he should be making more than those guys, right? Then you look at Khalil Shakir, probably should be making more than him. Cooper Kupp, at this point where Cooper Kupp's at, I'd say he should probably be making more than Cooper Kupp. He's making $15 million. Jerry Jeudy, 17.5. That's actually an interesting discussion. Both of those guys kind of, I guess, in a way have lacked consistency in numbers throughout their career. They've also had inconsistent quarterback play throughout their career at their different stops. So that's an interesting decision. Deebo Samuel making $17.545 million a year. That one also an interesting conversation. You have Christian Kirk at $18 million a year now with the Houston Texans. Mike Evans at 20.5. See that? And this is that. I think that might be kind of the range that you're looking like. More than Christian Kirk and Deebo Samuel and Jerry Jeudy. More than Mike Evans because Alec Pierce is going on to a second contract. More than Stephon Diggs at 21.166. More than Chris Godwin at 22. Maybe that's it. Right, Devontae Adams is at 22. Terry McLaurin currently at 22.788, looking to get a bigger contract to really put him up with the other upper echelon guys in the league. Cortland Sutton just got a payday, $23 million a year. Calvin Ridley, $23 million a year. So, and then you get to Michael Pittman. So, I think, probably right in that 22 to 25 range. That's probably what Alec Pierce is looking for. Right? It's probably going to be what it is. And I'd be interested to know if Alec's the one that's like not worried about so much doing a contract because he thinks he can have a really big season and be able to push his value up going into the offseason. So Should we pay Alec Pierce? Right. Let's get to the gist of this video. Should we pay Alec Pierce? Yes, I think we should pay Alec Pierce. The decisions that come after that are difficult decisions. What do you do with Michael Pittman Jr.? What do you do with Josh Downs? What do you do with A.D. Mitchell? What is the plan going? What do you do with Anthony Gould? Clearly, talent buried on the depth chart right now. He's tearing it up with the second team in practice. Right? So you have all this talent. Can't pay everybody. It'd be nice if you could. So what decisions get made going forward? And that's going to be a separate conversation that's going to need to be had. But you're looking at this. Yes, we should pay Alec Pierce. Just in my opinion, I think he's earned it. Continues to get better. He's probably the best offensive weapon so far throughout training camp. Right? I think a lot of people would say him. Anthony Gould and Tyler Warren, probably the best players on offense so far in training camp. And then what do you pay him? 22 to 25. If you can get him for that price, I'm good with it. Right? Again, there's decisions that have to be made after that. Roster construction you have to think about after that point. But paying Alec Pierce $22 to $25 million, keeping him for another 4 years or 5. I'm good with. He's about to turn into the best version of himself, and I want to lock him in. I do. I want to lock him in, right? And I have dreams of, like, I want to see Pitt retire a Colt, but I'm also sitting here imagining a time where you could see Alec Pierce reaching his potential, A.D. Mitchell reaching his potential, Josh Downs in the slot reaching his potential, Tyler Warren at tight end reaching his potential, Anthony Richardson at quarterback reaching his potential. And we could do that for a 3-year stretch. A 3-year stretch without we pay a couple guys along the way. We can make it work. For 3 years we have that. Dude. Most exciting offense in the NFL? Maybe. Hardest offense in the NFL to stop? Maybe. Going to the playoffs all 3 of those years? Probably. Winning at least one Super Bowl? Contending. Tell me I'm wrong. We just locked Bernie in. We have the center and right guard of the future. Tell me I'm wrong. We have Big Q until he decides to quit, but he's still currently the best guard in football. Tell me I'm wrong. Please. Okay, this is what's hard. Again, I want Pitt to retire a Colt, but I keep envisioning all these young guys and what the future looks like with them. And I just keep wanting, what if Pitt's a part of it and Josh Downs isn't? What if neither of those guys is a part of it? Anthony Gould is. Like, it's nice to have talent, but as a fan and like a content creator and somebody that's looking ahead and trying to figure things out with this team, we now have so much talent that the difficult decisions that are going to have to be made as a fan are going to be soul crushing. Like, we let that guy go for nothing, right? Because we couldn't pay him what he wants anymore. Right? Those things are going to happen coming up. We have so much talent on the roster. I do believe that that's going to become a problem. But in the meantime, we have signed our left tackle. Anthony Richardson looks like he's figuring it out. The offseason training that he did with the same people that helped Josh Allen get his career on track looked like they really helped Anthony Richardson. And again, just like Josh Allen in that first year, won't be perfect, but it should be pretty good. So feel good about where we are as a team. Locking in Alec Pierce, I think, would be a huge step in the right direction and where we're trying to go. So we'll see. What do the girls want to do, right? Like, they're going to let Chris Ballard and his team do what they're going to do. But, like, at the end of the day, they have to approve paying guys. And, like, how vocal are they going to be about wanting Alec Pierce to get re-signed. So going to be interesting to see how it all plays out. If anything comes from it, and anything happens, of course, I'll let you guys know as soon as possible. But for the time being, we're just going to keep pumping out, different content, whether it's training camp updates or anything else that we might want to talk about, whatever it is. I love hearing from you guys. So let me know your opinions down in the comment section, and make sure if you enjoy the content, hit the like button. Make sure you're also subscribed with notifications on so you continue to get notified anytime we drop any content on this channel. Of course, I appreciate you stopping by for another video. And as always, take care of yourself, take care of each other, and go Colts.